I don't do it by the book, but for you I'll take a look. Don't know what your mama took, sweet and spicy like a cook, yeah. I'll keep it real, let's make a deal. Buy you a meal if you just let me feel. Get out your heels, grab on the wheel. Back to my place at the top of the hill. Don't have regrets, I know what's next. She need a fresh, I'll be back in a sec. Look at them legs, don't make me beg. Back to the room, let me show you my bed. Touching on your body feels like taking on a drug. You got me feeling good, yeah, you got me feeling numb. Everything you do, I can't seem to get enough. You got me feeling good, yeah, you got me feeling numb. Touching on your body feels like taking on a drug. You got me feeling good, yeah, you got me feeling numb. Everything you do, I can't seem to get enough. You got me feeling good, yeah, you got me feeling numb. I could look at you all day, watch the way them hips sway. Love your body, so I pray, don't you dare take it away. Can't control what I say, lost my mind cause your frame. Hey girl, what's your name? Lit me up just like a flame. Body in motion, I feel the commotion, beyond you like lotion. I'm honest and broken, I flow like the ocean. I feel you were chosen to fix me, I'm broken. My heart that you stolen, hey. Stay with me, play with me, lay with me. Hate to see when you leave, chemistry feels like it's destiny. I just want you laying next to me, and I really don't want you to ever leave. On your body feels like taking on a drug. You got me feeling good, yeah, you got me feeling numb. Everything you do, I can't seem to get enough. You got me feeling good, yeah, you got me feeling numb. Touching on your body feels like taking on a drug. You got me feeling good, yeah, you got me feeling numb. Everything you do, I can't seem to get enough. You got me feeling good, yeah, you got me feeling numb. I have a dream, that's all I need. I'll make it happen with some work and belief. Know what I want, so I'll take it on. I've made mistakes, but mistakes make you strong. Let's break it down for a minute. I want the crown, I'm gon' get it. You hear me loud, man, I'm winning. Yeah, Charlie Sheen will be grinning. These ladies know that I'm sinning, and this is just the beginning. I'm closing in the ninth inning. There ain't no point in resisting. Living life like a dream, live it right, that's the thing. Every night got a team, I've been tied to the scene. Out on stage, here I'm screaming, okay, it's a dream. And I pray as a team, one day it'll be me. If I want it, then I get it. Head down, don't regret it. Push myself to the limit. If I play it, then I win it. I'm just saying, I'm just living for today. For a minute, I don't stay, I just visit. Have no shame, I admit it. They can find me to see if I succeed, to see if I believe. They're looking up to me. They want the best of me now, best of me now, best of me now, best of me. They want the best of me now, best of me now, best of me now, best of me. They want the best of me now. Swear to God, man, I'ma make it soon. Silence all the haters as they see us making moves. I do what I want, so I got nothing to prove. Staying motivated, teaching others what to do. I'm staying focused, my mind is open. They start to notice that I'm in motion. There is no potion, you're not just chosen. It takes devotion to stay composed, man. Never stop, there ain't no time to fall. Try to live, get it all. You got one life to ball. Thinking big, never small, cause you gotta want it all. When you finally get that call, you get ready, take it all. Need a handout, I already stand out. Starting to advance now, ready to expand now. You don't have a chance now, cause we're in demand now. Make it by the grand now, feeling in command now. They're looking right at me to see if I succeed, to see if I believe. They're looking up to me. They want the best of me now, best of me now, best of me now, best of me. They want the best of me now, best of me now, best of me now, best of me. They want the best of me now, best of me now, best of me.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back here to the NEXXTCAR Podcast. And once again, as always, we are joined with Peyton Tulloch and Matt Tucker. What's going on, guys?
What's up, Ronnie?
You're on, Ronnie.
Not much. How's y'all's week been?
Interesting, I guess.
Interesting, long. I can't believe the Sunday. I don't know. Just all the above. Next cars tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. We got a lot to talk about with NEXXTCAR and obviously NASCAR towards the end. We got a lot to talk about. Tonight being the cutoff race to make the championship. But let's get it kicked off with NEXXTCAR. First race of the playoffs. And boy, did that Truck Series race get started off in a way I think we all kind of saw coming.
I don't know about that.
Well, lap turn one.
Yeah, that was predictable, but the rest of the race was
that's the part I'm talking about.
Yeah,
the old payback.
Hey, that's that's part of racing, man. I mean, you can only cash in so many times before someone's gonna come to you and ask for some money, and that's what happened. So, hey,
I will say this though. This is the most with the playoff. I know we've said this in previous past podcasts, but this is the most chaos that I think we've had on iRacing. So we haven't had these dramas and stuff. So it's kind of a good thing in a way because it kind of levels out with actual NASCAR, but it also adds drama too. So we've certainly gotten that the past few weeks.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, going back to what Peyton said, you can only take so much, and then obviously that line is crossed. It happens to everyone, and I still stand by my case of Don Francisco didn't want to take out A-Bar at Michigan. That was not his intention. A-Bar just happened to be calamity damage for the third week and running, and you get tired of it. And obviously it came down with some penalties handed out. Nothing too severe, just both drivers on probation. So no points, penalties, or anything
just to clean it up that way, nothing else.
Right. Yep. No points, no suspension for a week, because don't want that to ruin a guy's playoffs. You still got several races left to make it up. But yeah, I mean, they got started off in a very, very good way. And then the truck race, man, the truck race at Indy was a lot of fun.
yeah, I like that track being on there. That was actually a pleasant surprise. Just the racing it provided and everything. That was a really cool race from start to finish.
Yeah, it was very strategic too. We had the first stage be basically a fuel mileage race, and you had basically two guys, father and son duo, out front, just winging it out there, and you had basically third through ninth place in one giant train just trying to save gas. So we were all trying to debate whether to pit not, and then me and a couple other guys, Jonathan, ended up pitting that stage. So that was crazy because some people didn't factor in that just because you get to the stage end doesn't mean you're going to make it all the way back around to the pits. So,
including this guy.
I wonder who that could have been. Even though they didn't technically get the stage win.
Hey, you know what? You got to take the points they're guarantees, and I thought I had some teammate backing that didn't come into play. It's something I got to remember the rest of the playoffs, but hey, it's part of it. It's not like it was a bad race for me. I still got the guaranteed 10 points and salvage 11th. I'm just shocked that there was no yellows. I thought for sure with Indy and truck, I mean, they were loose off the corner. 45 lap run to the end. We were going to have a yellow, right? Absolutely not. Classic NEXXTCAR. We think we're going to get yellows, and then we don't, so.
Yeah, but the battle, man. But go ahead. My bad.
No, so that wasn't classic NEXXTCAR.
That is classic, man. Because if it's a hard track, bro, for some reason we have our cleanest races. So that is classic.
We had so many guys that were spread out, and it was kind of weird because half the field was a lap down, half the field was on the lead lap. So we were all battling guys that were laps down while racing other guys for position too, because I know I got the lucky dog because of that situation, and I was battling Peyton for technically 7th place, but he was also getting battled by Cole Larson, who was battling him for like to stay on the lead lap or be like first car truck a lap down. So it was nuts like that second. I'm surprised we didn't have a caution with all the blocking and all the aggressive racing we had.
That was pretty insane that me and Robert both were third and fourth on track running for the freaking free pass. That was I've never been in that situation before, but hey, that's the penalty we paid, so part of it.
Yeah, absolutely. And let's talk about that finish there between Jonathan Duncan and Nick Trudeau. I mean, that was just you talk about classic NEXXTCAR racing. Well, we've had our fair share of those kind of finishes, and that was just another one for the history books. Nick Trudeau able to make that pass into closing laps, and Jonathan Duncan is kind of a little bit of a reverse of Charlotte earlier in the season. You know, he had Cedric Ingram run him down, but he's able to hold off there, but just was not able to hold off Trudeau for the win to secure him spot in the round of 8.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
happy for Nick, man. Like it's been a interesting season from start to finish for him. He's had speed, but just the wins have not came. Uh, been a little underwhelming. Not trying to like take shots at the guy or anything, but I think Nick expected more out of the season, and to finally start the playoffs and start them off right like this. I mean, huge momentum boost to Nick. I mean, I really feel like this opens the floodgates for him. I can see Nick going on a roll now. So shout out to Nick. That was a very impressive win, being able to chase him down from that far.
yeah. Jonathan had, if I'm not mistaken, he can probably correct me later, but I think he took 2 tires on that
Correct.
last
Yep.
stop to try to get a little bit of advantage.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't remember if Nick took 4 because I
Yep.
think Nick was 5, 6 seconds back from him, and he ran him down
Mm-hmm.
to
Yeah,
that
when the
point.
pit cycle started, he had ran him down to a second and a half, and then he came out 5.7 behind. So
Gotcha.
Duncan took 2, and then Nick took 4.
Gotcha. So yeah, so basically he was trying to gamble with that, and he was just it was a probably the right call, but he just was a couple laps to his disadvantage. But yeah, like what Peyton reiterated, the shout out to Nick. I know he's been not having the success that he's had this season as he had in last season with all the wins, but can't forget that Nick's been so consistent where he almost won the regular season championship too. So it's not like he hasn't like raced great. He's just slowly getting consistent finishes, and it paid off this weekend, which you gotta love that. I mean, everybody in here loves Nick and knows all the hard work that he's done for the league and what he puts in for the racing, and it's just good to see one of the good guys end up going to victory lane, even though you didn't win it. So, but you can be happy for the other guy too.
Yeah, absolutely. And one last thing I want to talk about on this topic of the battle for the win is, I mentioned it during the broadcast, especially at Indy. Catching a guy is one thing, passing him is another with that dirty air. It was, and he had to wait, he had to wait for Duncan to make his mistake. I think it was getting into turn 3 with like 4 to go. Duncan took it too wide. He missed the apex, and that is what allowed Nick to get underneath him. Like, Nick was able to, obviously run him down, but once he got there, he just couldn't do anything with it and just had to wait on his moment to pounce, and that moment came. So that dirty air was something all weekend long, especially in the Cup cars too, man. You got really tight behind somebody.
Hey, that's the name of the game of
Mm-hmm.
I guess current day NASCAR. It's not bad, the truck series, I feel like, at all, but you definitely, if the guy in front of you plays it right, they definitely can, kind of play that dirty air pretty well. I think it's easier doing the Cup car, but hey, Jonathan's a very talented driver and he knew what he's doing. And yeah, when it, during the race, I thought Nick would get by him quicker, and then he got there, and like you said, he just kind of sat there for a while until Jonathan finally messed up. I'm sure Nick would eventually probably got impatient and moved him if he didn't mess up, but yeah, shout out to Nick. I mean, he played that pretty perfect. He was patient. He knew that he was quicker and just waited until Jonathan made a mistake.
And it also let move lock Nick into the next round of the playoffs too. So we have the win you're in scenario. So Nick can race tonight, just try to get more playoff points and try to get another win. So, but he's doesn't have that pressure that some of the other guys have though. Kind of like me and Peyton, because we're kind of on that threshold where we can't have a really bad race because we know that there's guys right there below us on the cut line where that could sneak up and grab it too. So it's going to be interesting to see how tonight unfolds. But like Peyton was saying about Indy though, but uh, just the crazy racing and Nick was able to be patient enough and steal it. So
Yeah, absolutely. You mentioned Nick able to be a little more comfortable as we pull up your playoff standings. His name is in green, so like you mentioned, he is locked in, and tonight doesn't get any easier. Darlington. There's a reason it is nicknamed the track Too Tough to Tame. I mean, Darlington is a tough track for sure, and I'm excited for tonight. Absolutely, I love the racing that Darlington provides. You can run a little bit of two different lanes. It used to be back in the day where you had to run that outside line up against the wall, but now you're able to kind of run the bottom, maybe even get down on that apron a little bit. So it's going to be interesting to see what kind of strategies play into tonight. But as you mentioned, Tuck, these playoff standings are close. At the cutoff line, you got Cedric Ingram -2. Excuse me, JD Larson 5 below. Then Henning 11, Bloodworth, Cole Larson, Abar, Chandler, and Thomas. Key notes there, Chandler and Thomas did not make last week's race. They did have a fill-in, but they were unable to finish the race, so that hurt them quite a bit in the points. So those guys, they're kind of in a must-win situation now a little bit here. 21 points for both of them below the cutoff line. So, yeah, they can make up those points, but kind of digging themselves a hole there. But right above the cutoff line, I know we've talked about them. Your regular season champion, Don Francisco, after how everything went down at Indy with himself and Abar, Don Francisco is just now 2 points above that cutoff line. Kind of like I'm not going to compare them because it's two completely different scenarios, but are we into what could have been for Martin Truex Jr., where your regular season champion does not advance to the next round?
I'm gonna say that if we don't have any incidents like we did last week, I don't see any way that Don Francesco misses this first round. So if he races over his head, like kind of what's happened in the past, then there's a possibility. I mean, Cedric Ingram is one of the hottest guys in NEXXTCAR. I mean, he raced his way into the playoffs with that second place finish at Michigan, and then he backed it up with a top 5 run at Indy. So can't overlook what he's done and to put his name in the hat of trying to make the next round. So I mean, he's right there, and all the guys that are kind of above it, Robert, Chris Pendell, myself, like we cannot just roll over like the next 2 weeks and just ride around. We gotta at least try to go for it. So
yeah, absolutely. Because right above him, he's tied with Robert Babcock, and then you got Pendell, your Tucker, Tulloch, Bolander, and then Duncan. So these playoffs are tight. Just because you're above that cutoff line right now and your name's in yellow, you're anything but locked in unless your name is green. So these playoffs, they're got a couple of tough tracks ahead of you guys. You got Darlington and then Kansas next week. So it's going to be interesting as these truck playoffs continue.
Yeah, you've got a lot of great stories in there. I know we talked about David and Sheep. I wouldn't necessarily count them as they have to win at this point. I mean, if those guys can go out there top 5 in stage and races, I mean, I still think there's a path for them. You've got like we talked about Ingram. He might have came in the playoffs as the 16th seed, but that was really mainly because him missing some races. So when he's actually been here, he's actually been really solid, and he's kind of the dark horse of this whole playoffs. And there you go. He puts up a good performance in Indy, and now he's the first guy out. So do not count him out. And then as of Don Francisco, I mean, he's now entered that territory. Like, I think the guys like high up in points, me and Tuck included, and a few other guys, like entering the round 1, you can have one bad race. You can have a race where you don't get stage points. You can have a race where you don't lead any laps. You can have a race where you finish last. He can't afford that anymore. He used it first race, so he's got to come out here and perform at Darlington. He has to stay out of the trouble tonight, and he's got to have a good race in Kansas. So I think he'll be fine, but hey, if he gets any more drama or, drives a little too aggressive and gets into something, man, you could see a first round exit, so there's a little bit of pressure on that driver.
Absolutely. Anything else for the truck side of things? All right. Well, Cup side was a little less drama filled. You know, we didn't have the rivalries. A little more cautions, but overall the racing was fantastic as well in the Cup Series. You know, for like you mentioned, Peyton, it seems like the harder tracks is where the NEXXTCAR drivers just shine. You know, it's crazy how that works. And we go to Daytona and Talladega, and we can't run 5 laps to save our life. You know, so it's funny how that the pendulum swings there.
I don't know if you should rule out a rivalry or not. I mean, I did get spun twice, so
We're not talking about that.
I don't know. I mean, there's a certain somebody up there that spun me out. So.
You spun yourself across the nose of my car. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Better watch out tonight or tomorrow night, Ronnie.
Oh,
Yeah, tonight. What are you gonna do to me tonight? Throw a banana up at the booth?
Yeah, to toss a water bottle up and, like as I'm driving on the front stretch. So, no, like what you said, like the Cup was kind of nonchalant. That's the way it's been the whole year. So everybody's totally different, kind of like different group of guys in the Cup Series compared to the Truck Series. So we have a couple that are intermingled with Truck and Cup, but it's basically just kind of laid back, but we haven't really seen the drama like you said, like with the Cup side that we've seen with the Truck. So which we say that I say that now, and now we're gonna go into Darlington, and someone's gonna get mad at somebody, and then we're gonna be back in the same thing. But I don't know. I mean, Peyton was there for the taking last week, so gets another win. So congrats to him. But that's another thing too. Doesn't really have to worry about the next 2 weeks to make the round. He can go out and finish last if he wanted to and make it. So, but knowing him, he won't. But we'll see how that goes. Ronnie's right there at the cutoff line. So when two names that we didn't really expect to be on the cutoff right there is Andrew Bolander and Ronnie Noggle. So kind of interesting to see how Darlington's gonna shape up tomorrow for the Cup side.
Yeah, before we move on to you real quick, Peyton, I want to go back to something that Tuck mentioned is the intermingle of names between the Truck and Cup Series. That is huge. You know, you don't have the same people battling in both series. You got guys in the Cup Series that made the playoffs in Trucks but missed it in Cup. David Chandler, Christopher Thomas. You know, you got guys that made it in Cup that missed it in Truck. You know, so it's awesome to see it's not the same exact 16 group of guys going out there racing for the championship in both. Absolutely love that.
Yeah, we have a really diverse field. I mean, we got guys that only run one series and they're massive competitors. So it's really fun for guys who run both series to, hey, I got this guy that's going to give me a lot of, competition this day. And then turn around next day and it's like, hey, now this guy's here. So, hey, shout out to those guys. But
like the Hugheses,
yeah.
They're
Hughes
always
the Waltons.
battling. Yeah, the Waltons. Well, the Waltons are in Truck now. They just haven't. They didn't make the playoffs, but yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was fun, and I'm not just saying that because I won, but Truck was wild. I think it's interesting, Talk's talking about how, there's a little more rivalries in the Truck and everything. You wouldn't know that by last week. I mean, Truck, outside of the little bit of drama early in the race, I mean, that race went fully green. Cup, however, we had those yellows. We had the strategy really changed up the field. I mean, heck, I had no intention of staying out there that long at the end of the race. I had planned on coming down, but we had a couple yellows and then it made it not worth it. And then, man, it was like the last 11 laps. That might be the most hard and damn near perfect laps I've ran in iRacing. That was hard. You have a lot of guys breathing down your neck on fresh tires that all are extremely talented. And if I make one mistake and, I get cleared, I mean, it's over. So, played that dirty AR pretty well and able to steal that one. And like Tuck said, I mean, this round, it was very scary, especially in Cup for me, because I mean, Darlington is a scary track. It is a hard to pass one. It's going to be very interesting tonight. People are hitting the wall. I can promise you that. Darlington strikes will be made. So that one's pretty scary, and I have historically been pretty bad at Kansas, especially in the Cup car. So, and I didn't have a good run the first stage at Indy, so that win was very important for me. So, happy I can get one, and kind of be chilling the next 2 weeks in Cup.
Yeah, the track I got circled. I don't know how Darlington. I don't think I've actually ever ran Darlington in my life.
Oh boy.
So
Get ready.
the track I've got scheduled is Kansas, man. Absolutely love Kansas. That's probably one of my strongest tracks. Minus Dover, Kansas is probably my second strongest track. So I've got that track scheduled. Or circled, rather. But yeah. Oh, good.
Like, we have a very interesting list of tracks coming ahead. I mean, we were looking at it last night, and man, it's getting. Hey, you can really feel it's getting crunch time. Like, now we're one race in. It's like, man, we really here now, and you feel that intensity coming up. I'm expecting a lot of intense racing tonight.
Tonight, especially tonight, because tonight is going to be all about slide jobs.
Yep.
You're going to have to throw it in underneath that guy and slide up in front of him. But you can't Alberto A-bar yourself with Nick Trudeau a couple times. You got to make sure you're clear. Alberto unfortunately has done that a couple times this season, and Nick's been on the receiving end of that failed slide job. I mean, look at Tuck. Tuck tried to slide job himself halfway down the front stretch last week in Indy. I was underneath him, and he wasn't clear. So. Tonight's definitely going to be very interesting.
We do have a radioactive from that situation. It's exactly
Oh,
right here.
no.
Hold on.
Talk, what are you doing, dude?
That was Ronnie's reaction to the incident. So,
Hey,
but
I said what I said, and I'm sticking to it.
Who got the penalty, if I'm not mistaken? Who?
Both of us.
Who was deemed?
Both of us. You wrecked, and I went to the back. We both got the penalty.
I guess I can't say crap. I raced inside to kick me out with 2 to go too. Which ruined my
it realized that I was given a penalty unfairly, so that was how it got even.
I warn you this night.
For our audience, next week, if good old Tuck is in here, it's just me and Ronnie, and maybe we have a replacement or something. You know what happened. I'm just saying, you know what happened Monday.
Yeah, Tuck's future in the NEXXTCAR podcast lingers over tomorrow night.
Not tomorrow night, probably tonight too, because there's been some drama going out there all the week. So.
Well, you ain't doing nothing to me tonight, so.
Oh, I know, not to you. I'm just saying, there's some PO drivers at me for some who knows heck what. So.
Yeah,
we'll see how it goes.
It's gonna be interesting. Peyton's got a little rivalry brewing.
Who I got a rivalry with?
Camaro.
No, hey. I don't know. Camaro's an interesting rival for me. Just kind of like my rivalry with Tuck. I think me and Tuck's kind of usually a friendly rival, just a very competitive rivalry. Camaro and me, I don't know, man. Hey, it's interesting. Hey, I can never tell with him. Oh, camera, come back. But hey, man, I'm part of it, I guess.
Absolutely. Let's take a quick look at your Cup Series playoffs here after the first race of the round of 16. Obviously, you got Tulloch's name in green. Then you got Broadbeck, Duncan, Sean Walton, Trudeau, Tucker, Frank Hughes, and then Andrew Bolander all above that cutoff line. Then you got myself, Austin Walton, Dominic Hughes, A-Bar, Babcock, Manley, Justin Hughes, and then Lonnie Wiggins, 21 back. But, there's a really good battle right at that cutoff line, just like trucks. The guy below it, he's only 2 points back. And then you got Austin Walton, he's only 5 back. So you got quite a few. And then, like you mentioned, Tuck, who would have thought after the first stage, or after the first race rather, Andrew would be right there just barely above that cutoff line.
I can't remember how his race went on last week, but kind of shocking to say the least. Just seeing how he's run this season, and just only being 2 points above the cutoff is kind of shocking to us, but I don't see him missing the next round. They're
Hold my
missing
beer.
this round.
Hold
Well,
my beer.
I'll just say this though. Being the regular season champion is not what you needed to be. Like, I mean, Martin Truex Jr. was screwed, Don Francesco was screwed, and I got screwed. So if history plays itself, I'm not looking out too good in the Cup side. So, but
Yeah, you're only 10 points above the cutoff.
yeah, it's kind of not stressful. It just kind of just like you got to keep an eye on it. So can't have a bad race, no stage points like I did last week. So, which that was out of my control too. So, but
Same.
it's racing. So, yeah, good.
Jesus.
This is a great podcast. I love
Good
this.
Lord.
So, but anyway, back to Ronnie. So, I'll ask you, Ronnie. So you're 2 points out.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say you have a decent run at Darlington tomorrow night, and let's say you're within a couple points ahead, maybe tied, still where you're at, kind of situation. How do you approach that first stage at Kansas when you go into next week?
Oh, it's all about stage points then.
Okay.
It's all
I
about
didn't know
stage points there. Well, all right. For the first stage, I would go for stage points. I would,
Right.
Depending on how I finish in stage 1, would determine what I do in stage 2. If I go out there and win stage 1, then I'm setting up for a finish. You know, I'm setting up to go out there and win the race, or, you know, at least in the top 5 somewhere. Now, if I only get 1 or 2 points in stage 1, well, then stage 2, I got to go out there and try to get more, you know, and then just postpone that going for the win. Because I believe the stage break is
at or around halfway.
Yeah. So it just depends on how I do in that first stage, on how aggressive I am early on in that second stage, you know.
Right.
So
I mean, Peyton doesn't have to worry about anything. That's
Mhm.
like what we said. Like it's the guys that are in yellow and the guys that are in red that really have to worry. But win tonight or win tomorrow night, and your name's also in green. So then you don't have to worry about Kansas. But that's what also is great about these playoffs, how we've implemented them. I know we've said it before, but just having that kind of parity of the situations, the circumstances. So, but there's not one guy below the cutoff line that couldn't go out and possibly win in both truck and cup. Like the next like we've seen freaky things happen, like fuel mileage races, strategy races, the freaking finish at Michigan. I had no means winning that race on the truck side, so we could have a crash at Kansas, and here comes Alberto out of nowhere and locks himself in the next round. That could knock out you. Like
that
so,
shifts everything.
yeah. So that it ain't over until it's over, and that we're just gonna see what we've seen throughout the whole season, like tomorrow night, tonight, next week. So it's crazy. There's gonna be some friendships lost and friendships gained, but we're all here for it in the end, and just excited to see how it plays out.
Yeah, I would. For me and Nick, I know our names are in green in our respective series, but I mean, there's still playoff points out there. Me and him are just going to go right around. The more playoff points we can get, the more likely we'll make the championship 4. You know, that gives us a buffer for next round. So don't count us out this round. But as for the cup, cutoff, like you were talking about, I mean, Andrew kind of had a quietly bad race at Indy. I mean, he didn't get stage points and then didn't get the finish he was looking for. And obviously, you had your troubles, Tuck. So both of you've kind of used that, first, you had bad race for the round. We say you can afford one. Well, there you go. And all it takes is like you or Andrew have a bad race here at Darlington, and you might be going to Kansas, 8-10 down. And
Here we go,
pressure
round number 2.
on. So yeah, so y'all are already in an interesting situation. That's what these playoffs do. You think the first round's stressful, man? And we have some really quick guys. That top 8 is really close in speed. when we get to round 2, I mean, it is going to be an absolute dogfight for who makes the Final Four. So, hey, I'm here for it. We wanted some playoffs. We wanted excitement, and we got it with this playoff format.
Absolutely. All right, Tuck. Let's talk about something that you announced to the league this week over on Twitter, which I wish I was able to view, but we know how that goes. You and Nick have been working on a little bit of a project here for the playoff drivers.
Yeah, I don't know if you can pull them up on the screen. So
got them up right now.
We've kind of what we did with the podcast before, where we've had like a driver of the week thing, but just with the way that the playoffs have been going, we haven't really featured like the guys that are in the playoffs or featured guys in NEXXTCAR. So kind of what we decided what we were gonna do is like do like a little like featured NEXXTCAR driver every day for like kind of like the first round of the playoffs. So there might be we still have a lot to go, so it might be doing 2 a day. So like you see right there, there was what Ronnie's like graphic was his car. So kind of his sponsors on the car. So it's kind of be something kind of like that though. So and then like you said, shout out to Nick. Nick's the one that's making these. I'm just the one that's posting them. So we're just trying to highlight and profile the guys that come to NEXXTCAR and put in their skills every week. So just kind of like a little reward thing, like that we've kind of done in the past, just to showcase them and kind of give them a little shout out too. So just because you haven't won a race in NEXXTCAR doesn't mean that you're a part of the family too. So just kind of help everybody else out, and it's kind of taken off by storm a little bit. We got some good interaction on David's profile, so it's nice to see. And just because you haven't been featured yet doesn't mean you're not going to be. Your name will be and graphic will be a part of the feed like in the next 2 weeks. So by the end of round 1 of the playoffs, the goal is to have everybody that was in the playoffs featured. So
tell us about. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good.
You mentioned about David's getting some good interaction. Tell us about what that interaction was.
Oh, just the tracks that he said. So his favorite tracks were IRP and Pocono, and they both liked the tweet. So I mean, it wasn't really like hey like this is cool, but just that they recognized it and just trying to build our brand in a way. So kind of neat thing. So, but yeah, shout out to IRP and Pocono for them. So, yeah, it just trying to build up guys' resumes and build up our racing league. So it's everybody's gonna be on there, and got to do one today. I think I'll probably do myself today to round up all the captains, and then we'll feature all the playoff guys starting tomorrow. So throughout the week.
Nice.
Who would have thought, out of all people, David would have a little bit of a fan base?
Right?
David
I'm joking. I love you, David. I'm joking with you, man.
I'll say this though: it's a Ross Chastain car. It's Martinsville week, so the recipe was there for success. So,
do you see what Chastain did to his helmet, or like had his helmet painted up as?
Yeah, it's kind of designed as the car that he races winning with, right?
Yeah.
I saw some fans talking about how they were talking about like they should have painted the car with the scratches and stuff. And
that'd have been cool.
I mean, that'd have been cool and all, but the problem is
it's a different design though.
After Ross hits some stuff this weekend,
it's gonna look like that anyway.
It would be not only that, but it'd be hard for them to judge the freaking damage. So hey, man, you have scratches on the car already, man.
Yeah. But
That's true.
On the NEXXTCAR side of things, well, race number 1 is down for both truck and cup, and tonight at Darlington does not get any easier. So you guys got any comments for the NEXXTCAR side before we move on to NASCAR?
Yeah, you better watch your back tomorrow night.
Well, you tried to watch yours last week, and how'd that work out for you?
Yeah, I learned twice. You know, yeah.
Who got you the second time?
The first time was Vernon for the stage.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's right. Good job, Vernon.
Vernon spun me for the stage. You didn't even win.
Oh yeah, we didn't talk about that part of NEXXTCAR history. Nick became the first driver in NEXXTCAR history to win a stage and not get credited with leading a lap.
Hey, it'd be like that sometimes.
We didn't talk about that part.
That's impressive, Nick.
That's very impressive.
I'll say this though. Just the whole situation, like we're all battling, but if there's a stat that Nick would claim, it would be that. That would be a Nick stat.
100%. Absolutely.
So yeah, Nick can hold his head high and say that he's the first person to get 10 points and not get credited for anything. So I bet it confused the heck out of Erickson when he saw that on.
Oh yeah, he was messaging about it. Yeah.
It's like, how's this possible?
Yep. But all right, anything else before we move on?
No, I just man, this weekend's races are gonna be interesting. I hope everybody's kind of patient, but we'll see.
Yeah,
Patient,
it's not gonna
NEXXTCAR,
happen.
Darlington.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a hard place.
Those
to track,
three don't
man.
mix.
Track position will be key. So
Mhm.
once you get in that traffic, how aggressive will guys be? That's where you're gonna have your yellows. So
Yeah.
I mean, it is a tight track. So hey, we'll see though.
Absolutely. All right, NASCAR. They got a big race coming up. Martinsville. This is the cutoff to see who is going to race for that championship trophy at Phoenix. Man, things got a little tougher for Ryan Blaney. Truex got the pole. Hamlin's fourth. And Reddick is back behind him in 14th or 15th after wrecking on his second lap. So
Ryan Blaney is going to be fine. He's going to race his way into the Final Four today, and he's going to win the championship. So
I believe
what's
it.
Gonna happen.
I'm a strong believer.
So
I mean, I got his shirt on.
Ryan Blaney will win the 2023 NASCAR Cup Series championship.
All right, can we make that a soundboard? Because I don't think you've ever said that a day in your life.
Well, there's a couple reasons. There's a few reasons why I'm rooting for Ryan Blaney to win the championship. So Peyton knows. Peyton's rooting for Ryan Blaney to win the championship too.
I am a big Ryan Blaney fan. That dude, hey, if Ryan Blaney wins the championship, I might have to buy Ryan Blaney diecast or shirt or something if this man will clutch it up. But if you're Ryan Blaney this weekend, I mean, I get it looks a little scary right now. I mean, that is not ideal with where Hamlin and Truex are starting. But you got to remember, we are talking about the guy who's had possibly the worst statistical playoffs of any driver that's I don't know, was a top 5 guy in points in the regular season ever. I mean, this has been a terrible playoff run by Truex. And then you got the choke artist Denny Hamlin. So I think if you're Ryan Blaney, I think you just stay out of trouble, get points, and pray one of those two don't win. Make them beat you, and I don't think they will. So hey, we'll see though. That that's not ideal, but hey, I like Ryan Blaney's spot. He's had a lot of speed. That was my biggest gripe on Blaney all season was him and the Penske, the whole Ford camp really, were just lacking speed. And Ryan Blaney has just flat out showed up lately. I mean, he has looked like an easy top 2 or 3 car every week lately. So hey, I hope the momentum keeps going, and if he can make Phoenix, he is an absolute threat.
Yeah, 2 things with that. Going to the whole Ford camp, it's really kind of swapped these last 2 rounds. Coming into the playoffs, Buescher and RFK were the flagship team of Ford. Well, now it's where'd Buescher's speed go? Brad got knocked out early on. Now Buescher is 50-some points behind. Now it's where's his speed at that we've seen all season long? And Penske is now regain, I would say, their flagship stance of the Ford team. And then going back to the whole, you guys saying Ryan would be fine. It's something that, yeah, obviously during qualifying, I was like, well, that's not good. And then he did an interview, and he said, yeah, that was our race trim, So with racing setup, if they're able to qualify 11th, feel pretty good. Like you said, Tuck, he just does not need one of those 2 to win at all. Because obviously they win. Byron's basically locking himself in at 30 above. So
basically he's points racing then. Who would that be?
He's
Reddick
points racing
Reddick by 10.
Right.
And
But
then
yeah,
Truex
who's
and
right?
Hamlin are 17 back
17.
behind
Who's right above? Who's right above him? Is it Byron?
Byron, but he's
Byron.
30 above.
Yeah,
He's 30 above the cutoff line.
Okay.
Blaney if Blaney, I think he's quicker than Reddick this week. I think Reddick's kind of in trouble,
Mhm.
but yeah, I think if he just goes out there and gets some stage points, I don't think he'll be point racing anymore because Hamlin and Truex are not going to catch him unless he just runs really bad in both stages and Truex and Hamlin literally basically sweep. So I think Blaney just needs to, aim for around fifth in both the stages. If he can do that, I think it just becomes okay. Does one of the bottom four guys win? Like that will be the game Ryan Blaney's playing at that point. And hey, you never know. I mean, Xfinity, I think Austin Hill probably thought he was in a really good spot last night, and then cautions happened, and then he wasn't in a good spot last night. So you never know with Martinsville. I mean, Denny Hamlin was good by 2 points and seemed pretty much in last year, and we saw how that went. So you can never count this over until you get that checker flag.
I mean, Austin Hill was in the final four, literally the whole race up until the last
The
turn.
last corner, yeah, the last corner.
So
And if he
anything
would
can
have
happen.
just, if
Anything
he'd have
can
let
happen today.
Creed just go by and win, they both would have made it.
I don't think he would have been in. He would have been 1 point out.
Yeah, I think he'd been out.
They
It
said
was
that
very
both of them would have been in. If they'd finished
Yeah.
1-2, they'd have both made it.
well. They're
Fine.
they're including the fact that Custer wrecked. Custer was
Right.
wrecked, and that happens. Yes,
Yeah.
that's true. But I don't think Custer wrecks if the whole hill thing doesn't happen. So
Yeah.
it was extremely tight for a playoffs that we had like in Xfinity. I know we're kind of jumping off ship of a cup right now, but for a playoffs where we had three guys that were like 70 plus points out of it, like it was really just kind of a 4 or 5 man fight. It was really close when it was all said and done. I mean, we're talking about guys like, 1 or 2 points, like switching positions. It was extremely tight and crazy finish Xfinity. So, hey, if Xfinity's going to put a show like that, Cup's got to follow. And that is the only thing I'd be scared of Blaney is absolute chaos, and it could happen.
It's going to happen.
I can
Yeah.
guarantee you there's one thing that's not going to happen in today's race in the next in the Cup Series at Martinsville. It's going to be if let's say Reddick's 2 points out and needs 2 points on the last lap.
Oh my
he
God.
cannot do what Ross Chastain did. Imagine being Reddick and like that sucks.
Yeah.
So
I just want to also be on record, like that sport moment will always be one of my favorites of all time for the rest of my life. Absolutely love it. However, I still think it's absolute horse crap that NASCAR has played this thing
Mhm.
about 227 times this week when they outlawed it. Could you, are you joking me? That's
it's a
no.
safety issue.
That's
Mhm.
bullcrap. You cannot sit here and act like it's the best thing ever when you said no. We don't want that. That's
They went out and said today that, or it was this week, that Ross
I don't care.
Chastain was going about 130 miles an hour through the turn
I don't care.
compared to Denny Hamlin's 60 miles an hour. I'm not sure you're going down the interstate and like you're
Right.
going 10 miles an hour, like down the interstate, and someone flies by you going 70. Like that's kind of like the situation they're in. So they're just protecting. it.
I'm not.
Appreciate it. Appreciate what happened, and then like glorify it because it's a once in a
Mhm.
lifetime NASCAR.
Never be done
moment,
again.
and
You're right.
That's why they're giving all the coverage with it. 'Cause-
I'm not
'cause it happened.
trying. I'm
Then
not
it
trying to
brings views.
argue. I'm not trying to
Sure.
argue the safety and everything of it. I'm just simply saying it's a little bit bullcrap. I mean, I don't know. I don't have an analogy to compare that to right now off the top of my head. That's just, I don't know. That doesn't feel right to me. But hey, I respect it though. I mean, to be fair, if I look at the business side of NASCAR, as the business major I am, I mean, it makes sense. I mean, it was a viral moment, and yeah, I'm sure it's getting a lot of clicks. I'm sure. So them
know-
and them and Trackhouse are both milking it pretty well this week.
You mentioned about the drama possibly in the Cup Series. It's gonna happen. I mean, if they're closing down and Ryan's first, Hamlin's second, I guarantee you Ryan isn't seeing that checkered flag. If Hamlin raced him as hard as he did in like an idiot last week,
Oh yeah.
I can't imagine what he's gonna do this week if that situation presents itself.
I can promise you, if the 11 and 12 make any contact this week, it doesn't matter who, unless it's. I mean, correction. If it's Hamlin on Blaney again, it'd be a little different. But I highly doubt if either of them make it, and it's due to the other's expense that dude wins Phoenix. Those
Mhm.
two seem pretty upset at each other right now. If they try to carry it over, it'll be like it'll be Alberto different, not Alberto Don Francisco all over again, but in the Cup Series. So yeah, Hamlin raced him extremely. Man, I did not like how he was raced. It was getting to the point where Hamlin was racing like such an ass to Ryan there. I mean, even I was like, just turn him at this point, bro.
Yeah.
Like that dude is asking for it, and good old karma itself comes on through and breaks Hamlin's car. That was hilarious. And Blaney
Hamlin
coming
didn't
on the
care about
radio.
points. He didn't care about winning. He didn't care about the points. He just wanted to ruin Ryan's race to help him in the points. That's
Yeah, he
all
didn't
he
want-
cared about. He didn't want
he didn't
Ryan to
want
finish ahead
Blaney.
of him.
He didn't want Blaney to win because
Mhm.
that's another spot that
Right.
he'd have
Yep.
missed. So. Because I mean, yeah. But what's funny is I think it backfired on him because then Bell won, and Bell was
Mhm.
even in a
And it
worse
took a
spot
spot
than
anyway.
Blaney.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I can't believe I was going to say it, but I really wanted Byron to win that race.
yeah.
If Ryan couldn't, then that'd have left 2 spots open to transfer. But with Bell winning, he was below the cutoff line. Now he's above it, and Byron basically locking himself in here in the first stage if he goes out there and gets good points. Now that just leaves 1 spot open, So
That's the dude that's in the catbird seat. The only guy who could catch him on points is Blaney, and
Mhm.
for him to lose to Blaney, I mean, this dude would have to basically get no stage points and finish damn near last, and
he has
Blaney
to
have a
crash
pretty
out
good day.
basically.
Like,
Yeah.
it's just not. If that 24 is still rolling at the end of the race, that
Mhm.
dude probably made it. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's kind of
Kinda like the
interesting
same.
having 1 spot left. Like, usually we go to Martinsville, it's like, man, we have like 2 or 3.
Mm-hmm.
It really is kind of 1 this year. It's just that 1. So,
Yep.
and we'll see how it goes though.
Byron's kind of in the same situation that John Hunter Nemechek was yesterday.
Yeah.
Just
Not
gonna go
as
get,
good, but pretty close.
Just
but
coast
still needs to go
around and
get, but still has 2 stages to go out and get points. So I
Mhm.
mean, if he goes out and gets points the first 2 stages,
where did he qualify?
I don't think it was
Let me
good.
look.
I don't think it was
That's a
that
good
good.
question.
I think he needs like 5 points. If he can
He
get 5
qualified
points this
outside the
stage,
top 10. I know that.
Oh, really?
He
yeah, he
qualified
didn't qualify
16th.
great.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's.
So if he
Where-
goes and gets stage point,
I think his magic number is 5. If he can go get 5 stage points, I think he's pretty much in.
How did
Because the max he'd be behind, like in front of Blaney. Like if Blaney just
Right.
killed it, would be like 15, 16. Like I mean, this dude would have to still finish outside the top 20 with 5 stage points to miss. Like it's just probably not happening. And we've seen crazier things happen though.
that is true.
Busher qualified 18th?
Yeah, but I hate to tell you, I
Well,
really
Busher's
think
out. He ain't
I
winning.
I picked Busher to make the final 4 in my picks, but it just did not. I was surprised how much speed they lost. I thought they were
Mhm.
having the track house kind of surge here, and they lost it. And Tyreek's been too weird lately, so I
Too
don't trust either of those
inconsistent.
guys. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with him either. So I really think it's Blaney against those Toyota boys, and I'm cheering for your boy Blaney pretty hard.
I
What
am
about-
too.
Oh, good.
No, we're both sure. We're both Blaney fans these next
Yeah,
couple weeks.
Go Blaney.
So
That'll be on the soundboard in about an hour.
Jesus.
How about I know we all kind of saw it coming. Real quick, Almirola announcing last night that he was stepping away from that 10. I mean, we all saw it coming, but now does this open up the door for Gregson?
yeah,
we-
it guarantees Gregson into the 10.
Ah,
So
Hold on. Okay, look. I
there's
would
a
love.
95% chance that
I
Noah
don't-
Gregson goes to the 10.
I don't know about that. Like I get the rumors and everything, blah blah, and I would absolutely love Noah on that team. Absolutely love it. If we had Noah join that group of guys next year, I mean, talk about a team that I would personally love. That's a great lineup to
Mhm.
me. And I would love Noah to get a big opportunity like that. I mean, heck, it's not as Kyle Larson esque, but I would honestly say I'd rather be an SHR, even with their struggles lately, than racing at Legacy right now. Because Legacy is such a I don't know. I can't tell what's going to go on with Legacy, but I know SHR is going to do what they can to improve their organization. So I would rather be there. I'd say that's a step up. So I would love it. However, I think the question is because I've always said that I think he was my front runner to get a car if Almirola retired. What about Cole? If Cole goes out here and wins the Xfinity Championship, I mean, that was his whole point, right? To earn, some confidence in Xfinity. Well, if he goes out there and wins the championship, what else is he supposed to do? Uh, so I would hold the brakes on just writing Noah Gragson's name on the door just yet. I think Cole still has a fighting chance.
I think it's long. Well, Cole Custer, he can go out and win the championship, lead every
Mhm.
lap at Phoenix, and win the championship for the Xfinity Series. He will still be in 00 for the Xfinity
Hey,
Yeah.
next year.
He's
I will
to
say,
me, he's kind of like the Matt Craftsman or Matt
Uh,
Crafton.
Who?
Yeah,
Matt
shut up.
Craftsman of the Craftsman Truck Series?
Yeah, shut up.
I think you're right. I think Cole has always been really good in the Xfinity cars, and he
Mhm.
didn't show it in Cup. And I agree with you on that. However, I don't think that's actually what he wants to do. I don't think he wants to stay.
Well, I don't think anyone wants to stay in a lower series. Everyone wants to
Look,
stay in the
okay.
show. You know.
Yeah. I
I
will
mean,
say though, Riley had his deal announced, a while ago. Which, by the way, shout out to Tuck for recursing this dude in a good way. But I mean, if Riley's deal was announced, I mean, Cole has ran better than him for most of the year. Riley's really turned it up lately. So why is Cole's not been announced? Because I still think he's in the running. But hey, we'll see.
I don't think so.
You won't put some money on it, like where you're playing.
No, because it's not even. Like it's not an even bet. I think you're right. I think it's a 90% chance. I don't know about 95, more like 90 that Noah is the driver. But I think there's a 10% chance that Cole's still sitting there, especially if he wins the championship. Because I could totally see SHR being like, "Hey man, this is the thing. If you go out here and win this thing, we're gonna put you in the 10 car. If not, we not." I could see that being the offer on the table. Just
I
to
just
be
think it's
honest.
weird that Cole Custer literally would drive the 41 car in Cup Series and then
I don't.
drive a different car
I don't think
in
he
the
would.
Cup Series. I don't see that happening. It's Noah
I,
Gregson's ride, and that's our story. We're sticking
You're
with it.
assuming they won't move Priest. I mean, that's all they gotta do is change the damn number. Honestly, I
They're
think
not going
No,
to
Cole
do that.
would get his
they're not gonna
41.
do that. It's kind of like the situation with Stenhouse and the 47 with Busher. I mean,
Mhm.
they changed. I mean, they changed the number. But,
Those change teams. I mean, hey man,
well, yeah.
if Cole
But
makes it, hey, if Cole makes it to Cup, I actually give that like a 70% chance he gets the 41 back, and Priest goes the 10. That was the whole thing we thought Priest was getting was the 10 for a while, anyways. So, I mean, hey, Cole had a lot of, he had his first win that 41. Come on, he wants that back. Or maybe maybe they
well,
break out a new number. What if they bring the
he's
00 to Cup? I mean, Joe Gibbs brought a freaking Xfinity number to Cup, so why can't Stewart Haas? Maybe.
All
so
right.
you're saying there's no number 10?
Yeah, no number 10. The
Okay.
10 is cursed ever since
Okay.
Danica. I will
Speaking of
say,
Danica, did you see her comment about NASCAR needs to shorten the races? They're too long
So are we short them to 50 laps because that's
for
all
her.
she can do?
Yeah.
For
yeah,
her.
That's why I
how long she
commented
go
on
last.
it. I was
Yeah.
like, what does she care? She never saw the end of the race anyway. Like,
Exactly. She wanted them to be shorter. That way she'd have a better chance of making it to the end.
yeah.
And that
Danica
that
Patrick-
adds up.
She's
Danica
just doing
Patrick really
anything
needs to
she can
stay.
to stay relevant.
Yeah.
She doesn't she needs to be quiet because of the whole Sherry Pollux thing and
Yeah,
now this. It's
that
just
was
kind of like
ignorant.
That was
it's just
wild.
kind of like stay in your lane, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
Wild comment. Jesus.
All right, picks for today. Who y'all got?
Mm.
Who
Yeah,
who do
I'll
you
let-
have making the final spot in the playoffs or the championship for, and who do you have winning?
who we have
Well,
winning the race or who we have
Yes,
winning?
yeah.
both.
Winning the
You
race.
said winning-
Who do you
so-
have? Who do you have in your final four? Obviously, we know
Mhm,
3 essentially.
mhm.
Yeah.
You know who do you have getting that final spot, and then who is your lock in and sleeper win?
Hmm. Who wants to go first?
Okay. I'll say Blaney gets in. Byron and Blaney get in on points, and my lock will be Larson just because Hendrick dominates at uh, uh, Martinsville. That's basically their playground. So I'll say Larson wins, and then sleeper pick. I'm going with Kevin Harvick as a sleeper pick. I would like to see.
Whoa! No! You can't
Uh,
you can't use him as a sleeper. If we didn't let
Why is
Peyton
that?
if we didn't let Peyton use Bubba, then you can't
Oh
use
my God,
Harvick as a
hold on.
sleeper.
yeah.
Hey, just
second.
keeping it
Oh,
fair.
Kevin
Just keeping it
Harvick.
fair.
Kevin Harvick is
But he made the
literally
playoffs. But he made the
hasn't
playoffs.
won.
But he made the
Correct.
playoffs.
Made the
Hold on,
playoff.
I
That
don't
was
care
what y'all
about your
told me.
stupid argument. Hold on. Kevin Harvick
Yeah, it's
is-
stupid because it's against you this week.
No, I never said that. I told him that it was fine to take both. It was you that was saying that.
No. I'll go back
Yeah.
and
Kevin Harvick is, let's see, 17-1 to win. So I consider that a sleeper. So if not Harvick, then I'll say Briscoe. So there.
Oh, you son of a gun.
Oh,
Oh.
I'm sorry.
I don't like you, bro.
all right, Peyton, you
Briscoe was close in winning this race last year. So
Yes, Briscoe was, and he was actually a guy I almost thought of picking for the win because I feel like, everybody's, just kind of riding off some guys. So, um, I'll go ahead and spoil the fact that I have Ryan Blaney making it because I don't have Truex or Hamlin clutching up. The guy I'm gonna pick to win this race might be a little bit of surprise, but I'm gonna go with the hothead himself, Ty Gibbs. I know that one's a little bit out of left
he's
field,
gonna
a
be my
little bit.
sleeper.
Ty Gibbs has improved throughout this entire season and by a good margin, and he's had a pretty good playoffs. Not one that he would have made it like Final Four or anything, but he showed that he probably should have been in the playoffs based on speed. Uh, the Ty Gibbs of now would have made the playoffs, and I think he's kind of really made himself kind of almost a lock. It feels like next year, but it just kind of feels like that time. I mean, this is a track that last time he was here a year ago, he pulled that idiot move, and a lot of people got mad and blah blah blah, me included. It was some crap. Um, but this just feels like the time where Ty Gibbs comes out and says, okay, here I am to Cup. Let's go do this thing. And I feel like Ty Gibbs has his little, I don't know if you can call it a breakout, but has his breakout win that gives him motivation for next season. So I'm going to go with Ty Gibbs today. And sleeper pick, I'm going to pick Ricky Bobby himself, Ryan Priest. This man has won a lot of modified races here. He just won the modified race here a couple nights ago. And
won the stage in the spring.
yeah, he won the stage in the spring. I mean, honestly, I can make an argument he should be my lock, and Gibbs should be the sleeper. But hey, we're going a little bit of two for here. So I really like the Priest pick. SHR was really good here last year, and with Tuck down here kind of stealing the guy I wanted to pick. Priest kind of seems like that guy that's kind of getting slept on out of all the SHR guys. I mean, think about that lineup right now. Briscoe, everybody knows Briscoe's got talent. Everybody's really excited for Josh Berry coming in. And then the other car is wide open right now. So everybody's really excited about all that. But everybody's just kind of, and Priest, he's the fourth guy. He's the weakest link, quote unquote. I think Priest is seeing all this, and I think he comes out here and has a hell of a race. So Ryan Priest, Ricky Bobby is a sleeper pick.
Okay.
I also, on note, by the way, William Byron will make it, but I think it ends up being a lot closer than it should be. I think William Byron has a pretty mediocre race today, and he gets a little nervous as the race plays on, especially if those Toyotas are up front. Ryan Blaney's running good, so do not count him as a full lock.
Okay. Well, obviously picking Ryan to make the championship 4. And then my lock today is going to be, I think Bell could go back to back here. Christopher Bell's going to be my my lock. And then, I was going to pick Ty Gibbs as my sleeper. And I mean, obviously the guy has picked up speed as the season's progressed. And I can just see, obviously Toyotas are always fast here at Martinsville. There's a reason that Martin Truex Jr. is one of the best at this track. So yeah, I got to go with Ty Gibbs as my sleeper.
Yeah, wait a minute. So you're gonna take your sleeper, the same guy I took from my lock, as your sleeper? That's
Yep.
okay.
All right, fine.
Hey,
I'll change it then. All right.
Amen.
I'll go with the guy that just announced he might be done racing, Eric Almirola. He qualified 12th.
Okay, see that one's fun. Okay, See, what's
12,
interesting,
so a little bit of speed,
everybody talks about Harvick, and I think Harvick's last chance to win obviously is at Phoenix. He's really good
Mhm.
there. I think this might be Eric, so I don't see Eric going out there and winning the Final Four. Uh, so yeah, hey, I like it. I mean, this is kind of his last farewell tour. It feels a little weird that he announced it so late because now, I mean, he's kind of getting overshadowed by Harvick at this point, but
Well, I think that's why he did. He didn't want to take away from Harvick.
that's fair.
Yeah, I
Maybe.
mean-
Also, another thing is Ryan Newman guaranteed to race at Phoenix next week?
I don't know
You mean,
why.
yeah,
Well,
what kind of
because
question is
this could be his last start in the Cup Series too. So Hall of Famer making last start in the Cup Series.
Honestly, I feel like he could walk away, and I feel like he's already retired.
Yeah, it kind of feels
Yeah.
he's got
No,
that.
I
he's
know.
Like
got
it
that
doesn't
role
have that retirement feeling with him.
no, I'm just
no.
saying, like
You know.
it could be his last
Like
Cup Series.
it's like a Gordon, like when Gordon came back in something the '88. Like
Mhm.
everybody, I mean, I didn't take that as him unretiring. He's just kind
No.
of out there, filling, filling a spot for a team, just kind of helping them out, like
Ooh,
I mean, but Newman never retired
no.
technically.
technically.
Last
Why'd you
thing,
go-
last thing here. Have you guys seen the rumors of Junior returning to the Xfinity Series full time? Have you guys seen those?
Hey,
And what are your thoughts?
we were talking about it,
I didn't see
earlier this
this.
week.
It's been all
that-
over Facebook and stuff.
Yeah, I made the comment that I wish that Dale Jr. guy would get a shot. I mean he's had some speed this year in his 2 starts. Somebody need to give him a full-time ride and just let him prove what he's got. And hey, I always love seeing guys earn opportunities, and I hope Dale Jr. gets a full-time ride. Jokes aside, I would love to see Dale Jr. back in Xfinity, man. I mean, I don't think he'll do it.
Mhm.
I haven't seen much of the rumors. I saw a little bit, but just kind of ignored it. But I Dale would be really, really fun. Will he do it though? Probably not. But if it were to happen, man, would that be exciting for NASCAR?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Get what? What has he won? 2 Xfinity Series championships?
Yeah. And what's crazy is if Dale Jr. was to come back full time, I would put good money this man makes playoffs, wins a race. Like
Mhm.
he still has speed, which is weird because
I mean, look at Bristol. He was almost
Yeah.
on his way to victory lane, and then obviously his
Car
car
got-
caught fire.
I mean, and you know that Dale Jr. is not getting like the best crap. As an
Mhm.
owner of that team, he did not, those 2 races go, all right, we're gonna suit up my car. No, he was worried about his drivers first.
Yep.
He was just out there for fun. So if Junior was actually racing for something, man, I would be hella interested. I mean, he would kind of be a playoff lock, and hell, I mean, give Junior time in this car to get back in the groove, and this guy might be a freaking championship, threat. So Dale still got it. I mean, we've seen other, older NASCAR legends, come back and they don't got it. They get washed. I mean, I hate to, like call him out, but Jimmy washed. Tony was washed in his career. Junior or Gordon wasn't as bad, but Junior, he comes back and he's one of the very rare guys that can perform. So I'd love to see it.
Kind of weird because wasn't Junior Wash is literally his last Cup Series?
Man, he
All right,
wasn't.
he had health issues
Yeah,
though.
yeah, like
Well,
come
yeah.
on.
He was battling concussion, and
He stepped away due to medical reasons. It's kind of like not to bring him out, but like Trevor Bain. Like both of those
Yeah.
guys stepped away. It wasn't because they, sucked per se. They both just
Trevor Bain stepped away also because one, Roush was in the worst state they'd ever been in, and 2, no one else would pick him up. So
amen. You get ready for that Trevor Bain comeback. Anywho,
Bain train has been derailed. Sorry, Peyton. So
all right. Anything else for today's podcast?
tune in to Ronnie tonight. Gonna be
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, it is.
after we watch the Sparks fly in the Cup race, maybe not off the wall, but after you get done watching the Sparks fly and the brawls and the tempers flare, because it's gonna be. I'm sure there's going to be some action pack. I mean, over under Denny Hamlin getting a fight, it's probably pretty good odds. But after those are done,
Alberto and Don Francesco getting in
Yeah,
a fight.
yeah,
That'd be
exactly.
pretty
Like,
good odds.
well, yeah, once you get done watching the NASCAR playoff
leave my
drama,
driver
make
alone.
make sure to tune in to NEXXTCAR to see our playoff drama because, hey, you may think we're not racing for millions of dollars like those guys are, but I can promise you there is some passion on that track. It was shown last weekend. I'm sure it'll find its way on there again this weekend. So
Yeah.
tune in.
Yep, it's definitely going to be an interesting one.
Go Blaney.
Go Blaney, and
Blaney.
I hope Tuck gets the wall tonight.
I probably will. Everybody will. It's Darlington.
He will
Yeah,
on
that's fair.
Monday.
Yeah.
Hey, on record, I just want it to be known, if I do ride the wall tonight, it was on accident. Just let that be known.
Nothing ever with you is on accident. Shut your
Yeah.
mouth.
I'm glad
Hey,
you have
okay.
faith in my driving that much to say that I ain't never made an accident in my life. I appreciate that, Tug. I can't say
You're
the same
welcome.
with you, but thank you.
Well, my incident with you was an accident at Charlotte. It was complete an accident.
Oh yeah,
But
that drain down there really got you, huh?
it just overcorrected. I thought I hit something. It was totally my fault, but just the way the race was unfolding.
I forgot what y'all were even talking about, and then you mentioned the drain, and it was like, yep.
I thought I hit a bump. But the car just
you didn't. You
overcorrected.
just took the hard right.
I didn't. It just hooked on me. Yeah, it was my fault.
But hey,
I took ownership.
But hey, per the Don Francisco ruling, Peyton
That's hard
blocked you.
racing.
He deserved it.
Yeah, oh yeah, that too. See, yeah.
Well,
exactly.
there's a difference. This was lap 30 compared to last lap. So
All I know is who knows. Maybe I'm still pretty mad about that situation, Tuck. You
Yeah.
did kind of ruin my race there, so tune in tomorrow. Will there be sparks there? Probably.
Peyton, you're already advanced to the next round. Don't make it an easy
See, exactly. I can get
he
suspended the next
can
race. It don't
manipulate
matter.
everything.
So tune in.
No.
Who will wreck Tuck? Me or Ronnie? Who knows?
Just don't tag team me.
Hey, maybe.
We'll do what who was that? Chase Elliott and Hamlin did to Chastain at WWT, where they were both playing games with him.
It'll come down to the last lap. It's gonna be us three somehow, and literally Peyton's just gonna say, "Fuck you, Tuck."
And then hits the brakes so I can pass him. In.
There you go.
Oh,
Ronnie
man.
donuts on the front stretch. Hell yeah.
Yeah. Let's just end this podcast on a positive note.
But that's going to do it for the NEXXTCAR podcast this week. Well, tonight's race at the Lady in Black. Well, there's a reason it's called the Track Too Tough to Tame, because these drivers are in for a rough one tonight. So make sure you tune in, and then tomorrow night the Cup Series gets to do it. So second race of the first round of the NEXXTCAR playoffs. Anything can happen. I'm sure anything will. So make sure you tune in for all the exciting. So we will catch you guys later on tonight when the Truck Series hits the track.